And we want to welcome everybody here on a Friday night. We are with the Magic Manzo's ARCA series brought to you by Flexible Freight Solutions. We're here at
Looking
my
for
home track,
royalty-free music?
the Indianapolis
Discover
Motor Speedway. And should be a lot of fun racing here tonight. This is the Shappy Edits 100. These ARCA cars are getting kind of deep into their season. I believe this is race number 6 of the season. We've seen good racing, all season long. We've seen some short tracks. Definitely seen some caution field races as well, but I think here at Indianapolis, these guys are going to be able to get spread out, and we should get some really good long green flag runs here tonight, Jamie.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the track's definitely big enough, plenty of room to run out there, even side by side. Should be able to do that without running into each other a whole bunch. So I expect to see a lot of green flag racing, and looked like everybody was doing a good job of holding on to the cars during practice, and see a whole lot of issues there. So expect to have a good race here tonight.
Yeah, and this is definitely the world center of racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Big weekend here in Indianapolis is three of the different racing series are here this weekend. We have the IndyCar series here. We have the Xfinity series and the Cup series, all on the road course though. But we are on the big oval here tonight for the ARCA series, and well, I mean that's the way it should be, Jamie, on the big oval.
I agree. Agree 100%. Uh, don't need to see stock cars running around a road course when there's a perfectly fine four-cornered oval uh, right next to it, or surrounding it.
And that's what a lot of drivers come here to do is they want to be able to cross that yard of bricks and get the win and be able to get out there and kiss those bricks. And a little trivia for our folks watching here this evening, and even for you, Jamie, who was the first person that actually started that tradition here in Indianapolis?
I have no idea, so I'll say probably. I don't even know. I was going to say Gordon, but I don't know.
No, it was Dale Jarrett.
Was it really? Huh.
Started that tradition, and it has just continued on from that point forward with the stock car racers and all that. So just a little trivia for everybody that's out there in Goat Locker Racing Network land. So, but cars are gridding up right now, so we'll go through our starting lineup here for the Shappy Edits 100. Brandon Wallace in that number 99 from Reaper Racing with a lap time of 53.609 takes the pole here this evening. So congratulations to Brandon on winning the pole here tonight. And starting his outside is going to be Jesse Necula in that number 84 from Oval Addicts. Starting in third is our good buddy Charles Stevens Jr. in that 88 for Big Fish Motorsports. Starting to his outside is going to be Andrew Kurtz in the number 8. Starting in fifth is going to be William Griffith, also from Reaper Racing, in that number 12. Starting in sixth is going to be Josh Thompson in that number 3 from Avenger Motorsports. Starting in seventh, Aaron Adcock in that number 23 from Dark Horse Motorsports. And to his outside is Jason Lotridge in that number 48. Starting in ninth is going to be Tyler Rice from Oval Addicts in the number 6. Starting in 10th is our brother from a slightly more White Castle Eaton mother. That number 10 car of Davy Jones from Salty Dog Motorsports, which is also affiliated with us here at Goat Locker Racing. Starting in 11th is going to be Matt Kleeman in that number 9 from Pale Horse Racing. And then starting in 12th is going to be Todd Schott in that 426 from Dirt Affliction.
Starting 13th, number 85, Justin Hendry is outside. Starting 14th, number 75, Charles Phelps. Starting 15th, number 71, Eric Burkhalter. Starting 16th, number 69, Spencer Gay. Starting 17th, number 55, Charlie Gates. Starting 18th, hopefully he's made his way back in to 01 of Mickey Isaac. Starting 19th, number 17, Josh Jet Oswald. Starting 20th, number 77 in his new paint scheme tonight, Magic Mike Uribe. And rounding out the field tonight is the 111 of Gene Watkins.
Yeah, we'll take a close look at that new entry from Magic Mike Uribe in that 77, who comes to a stop on the track for some reason. He must have known he's getting some camera time right now. But he's got himself that Pink Floyd race scheme. He was pretty proud of it, so we'll give him a little extra camera time here and let him show off that paint scheme. But glad to have him out here in the field, and we'll see how this night goes. But Brandon Wallace with the pole here this evening, the number 99 push-up pop uh, car, which still makes me laugh to this day. Not sure why, but not too many guys are out there running. Well, I don't know, just straight up candy paint schemes. I'm gonna call it.
I like it. I think it's a cool car. I like the colors on it. So good for you, Brandon. You own that. Mickey Isaac has gotten disconnected once again. Continues to have connection issues with iRacing tonight. That's unfortunate.
It sure is. He's usually one of the strong drivers out here this evening, and I'm sure he's pretty frustrated at this point in time. We'll just call it not being able to make it through technical inspection and be able to take the starting grid here this evening. But yes, definitely have some connection issues here as the pace car is pulled off, and we are getting ready to get underway here.
Yeah, pulled off is an understatement. That thing took a hard left.
And the green flag is out. Jesse Nekula gets a really good start there, as he is going to be side by side with Brandon Wallace heading down into turn one. But Brandon Wallace gets that car moving in the right direction there and is able to clear. And we are underway here at Indianapolis.
Yeah, being on the outside as you enter into that turn one there is not the place to be.
No, a lot of the passes that we will see set up this evening will either be getting into the corners or coming off the corners. But as you're going through these quad ovals, not a lot of passing to be seen through them. So you really got to set up these passes either coming off or getting into it. A lot of times what we see here tonight is really getting off the corners.
Yeah. You can really make up some ground on people through the each end on those short chutes, but you're definitely not going to want to run side by side through them.
No, that is always a recipe for disaster. It looks like there's a lot of room through the short chutes and through these corners, but really the way that you have to navigate these corners, you need all of that track, both cars to make it through there safely.
Yeah, you try to run side by side through there, you're really going to be slow down the straightaways on either end, which is not going to be very advantageous if you're trying to maintain positions.
We see here that Brandon Wallace has been able to lead the first couple laps here. Jesse Nekula right toe behind him. Charles Stevens Jr. Has settled back into third place, but he's got a hard charging William Griffith right behind him.
Oh, got a car.
That number 3 car. We saw that number 3 car be very fast in practice. Was one of the top cars on the leaderboard. Not the greatest in qualifying efforts, so looking like he's making some aggressive moves here to get up through the field and be able to challenge, hopefully, here for the win tonight. But it's not going to be easy to move up through the field here, especially as more laps kind of unwind and the field starts to spread out a little bit more. But we do have quite a pack of cars back here racing for fifth on the back.
Yeah, so far, I mean, everybody's doing a really good job of just kind of running in their spot and letting some of these laps tick off. We only completed 4 laps. Say only. It takes a little bit to get around Indianapolis here at you're almost a minute a lap. We're running 54 seconds, so.
As the tires continue to wear, we'll get closer and closer to that minute a lap. So it is a 2.5-mile track here. And if you're a race fan, I probably really don't need to explain Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is one of the meccas of racing for the world. So for me, again, I literally live 20 minutes away from this track. Definitely near and dear to my heart. Grew up here in the city of Indianapolis. Many races, and the caution is out, and it looks like Dave Jones has gone off track, so we'll go back and see what happened to Dave Jones here. Oh my goodness, it's him and the 69 car, Spencer Gay, get together. We will try to back that up as we caught it a little bit late there of exactly what happened. But big damage to both of those cars right there, as we are going to see. Yep, we are definitely going to see here going off into turn 3, and we'll slow it down. Spencer Gay is down to the inside, Dave Jones on the outside, and we will see the number 10 car, really the rear end of that car, start to step out on the outside as they come through, and that 10 car is getting out of control right now. We'll see him start to counter steer, not really be able to catch it, clips the rear end of the 69 car, and those two cars get wadded up together. It looks to be that Chuck Phelps was able to get his car woed up and not be a part of that accident. So tough break there for those two drivers, but that is what has us under caution here this evening.
Yeah, the Red Sea parted right there for Chuck Phelps. And he was able to sneak on by. I'm sure he was probably clinching up pretty good there when those two cars got together right in front of him.
Yeah, that is always a pucker moment for sure. He's like, please, please, please. And, I'm not going to lie. I've closed my eyes from time to time and just prayed. And sometimes when you open up your eyes, you're like, oh, everything's okay. And then sometimes it's not okay.
Yeah.
But we will definitely have a lot of time here under these cautions. It does take quite a bit of time under caution to get around this 2.5 mile track. Jamie, and I'm not going to try to put you on the spot before you're like, oh man, we haven't had a short track, Mama Alex short track moment in a little while. So I don't know if you've got any fun facts in your back pocket for this week.
I don't. But we can talk about Pagan Ellingson a little bit. She
Absolutely.
was racing tonight. Qualified 11th. Ended up on the pole for her heat race. I guess she led like every lap of the heat race until someone spun her on turn 4 of the last lap.
Yeah, I was. I caught the video that was sent over, and I felt bad for her because even listening to the announcer and announcing that Ellingson was in first place and leading, and they were coming into that final lap, and you could hear Jake in the background as well telling her protect the bottom, and then she gets turned in turn number 4, and definitely should have won that race. So, Megan, if you're listening, phenomenal job this evening. Nothing you could have done differently about that one. That was your race to win. So congratulations on a great night, even though it wasn't the finish you wanted.
And hopefully Jake isn't in trouble for going and beating up some young kid.
As I was messaging Mama Ellingson, I'm like, look, I'll go down there and whoop his ass. I don't care. See, there's a lot of things, and I've got 2 sons, and they're 10 and 12, and they're highly involved in karate and some other types of things. And, I watch them in their sparring matches, and sometimes they do well, and, sometimes they get their butt handed to them. And, I don't get too worked up about it, but as a race car fanatic, and if one of my sons was out there on the track and that happened to them, I'm not sure if I wouldn't get in a little fisticuff with somebody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, it's definitely tough, man. It's one of those things always when, especially if you feel like your kid's been wronged, it's definitely hard to stay out of it, but you really have to. I'm sure Jake kept his cool.
Yeah, I'm sure he did as well.
Plus, he probably didn't want to get beat up by the kid either. So I mean,
that's
it's probably
true. I mean, Jake doesn't really strike me as much of a fighter, and he's kind of wiry, and he kind of looks weak. So you're probably right, Jake. As we got these cars. I say way too much stuff on these broadcasts and get me in trouble.
He's gonna kill us.
Yeah, it's all right. But we got these cars lined up 2 by 2 here, And we're going to get ready to take the green flag as we're getting ready to complete lap number 8 of the scheduled 40 here this evening. And the Shappy Edits 100.
Once again, that pace car, man, takes that hard left.
It does.
And Brandon Wallace gets a good start here.
William Griffith really gets a great start as well as he finds himself side by side with the 84 of Jesse Necula. Oh,
Jesse,
you do not want to get on those rumble strips there, Griff.
No, but and that cost him. Jesse Necula is going to take Brandon Wallace here off of the exit, turn 2.
William Griffith is going to follow him along as well, so they are side by side at this point in time. As now we see Andrew Kurtz coming up in the mix as well. So we do have a new leader here this evening. That is Jesse Necula, that number 84 car. And now Brandon Wallace is falling all the way back to 4th position right now. Really needs to start getting that car down and hitting his marks. Charles Stevens Jr. in that 88 is going to take advantage as well.
Yeah, he's not had an opportunity to get down out of that high line because everybody keeps filling the hole. And right now, Brandon Wallace is getting freight trained by all these guys. But doing a good job of not really forcing the issue, trying to just slam that car back down on the bottom and cause a wreck. So, and he's holding his own. I mean, he's, Justin Hendry in the 85.
Yeah,
kind of close call, but
we got cars darting left and darting right. We got a handful of cars here that are running side by side back here for this 3rd position. And no one's really been able to prevail at this point in time, but Brandon Wallace really gets high there in turn number 3. Andrew Kurtz is able to clear on that number 88, or in the number 8, and now the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr. is able to clear Brandon Wallace. He is under fire again now from the 85, and the 23 of Aaron Adcock is going to be right behind him.
Yeah, it looks like after Aaron Adcock passes, he should be able to get down behind him. And if I was him, honestly, I would probably just roll out and let that pass happen so that he can get down. If not, he's just inviting the 6 of Tyler Rice to catch up there and just do the same thing to him all over again. But looks like he does finally get back in line. He's gonna fall back to, looks like 7th place here.
Leading the first handful of laps here, and being in first place on that last restart, and now falling all the way back to 7th position. Just goes to show you how important it is to get down to that bottom line going through the corners here at Indianapolis. Jesse Necula has stepped himself out to almost a half a second lead at this point in time. William Griffith is making up some ground, and we'll have to see as the run continues on here if William Griffith is going to be able to get up there and have anything for Jesse Necula.
Yeah, right now, I mean, they have broken away from the pack. Good separation between the 12 and the 8 of Andrew Kurtz, over a second between the 2 of them.
Yeah, as we take a look here, we'll bring up the timing tower on the left-hand side of the screen here. And you'll see the gaps back through the field. And those top 2 cars have definitely broken away here. Doesn't look like at this point in time that the gap has kind of stabilized a little bit. William Griffith is making up some time through the center of the corner here as he's getting just a little bit lower than that 84 car.
Yeah, he flirts with those rumble strips, and hopefully he doesn't catch them because those things really upset the car. You would think you should be able to use them, but you just really can't.
Now, you get those left side tires anywhere down on those white rumble strips, and it will completely upset that car. You will have to back out of the throttle and get back after it again. But he is all the way down there right next to him and is now all over the bumper of the 84 car of Jesse Necula.
And if I was William Griffith, well, he looks like he's going to look to make a pass here. I was going to say, if I was William Griffith, I would be content to just sit here and, you know, ride with Jesse. You're putting a gap on the third place car, so no real reason to fight here and draw him in closer. So, but hey, William wants to lead, and he's going to go after Jesse here.
Some of the times, Jamie, you make an excellent point here. When you get into these races and you get into a track like this that really lends itself to some long green flag runs, you really got to understand what's happening throughout the entire race. Just not what's happening that lap or within those, couple of laps here. We saw on that last lap, Jesse Nekula pulled down a little bit to try to break the draft on the backstretch, and really all that is doing is hurting both of those cars. And Andrew Kurtz is making up time in buckets right now.
Absolutely, he knocked 6/10 off of them in that last lap. You were walking away.
So I mean, to behoove both of these drivers to really at this point in time not compete with each other, just line up nose to tail, get that draft, and just step away from the competition. But sometimes I don't know, they don't think that way, and they just want to get up there and they want to lead these laps and do these things. But Andrew Kurtz is making a march right up towards the front right now, and he's bringing Justin Hendry along with him. So this is going to quickly be a 4-car battle for the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I get it. William Griffith feels like he was faster, but sometimes that's an illusion. You're getting a pull from the draft. That brings you up there to the back bumper of that 84 car. But then when you make that move to try to go around these, you no longer have that draft pulling you up. So then you find out that you're really not as fast as you thought you were.
Again, on the backstretch there, we see Jesse Nekula pull down a little bit lower. Again, playing a little bit of gamesmanship there, trying to break the draft. But these two drivers, really, and he does it again going down the front straight away. It would behoove them just to line up nose to tail and be able to start to pull away here a little bit. But we'll see how it continues to develop. Here up front is now we've got a 4-car battle for the lead. All those cars within 1 second of each other, and then it is almost 4 seconds back to Aaron Adcock and Charles Stevens Jr. And we'll go back and check in on those two as they are running very close together. And Brandon Wallace is still sitting in that 7th position. He fell back to 7th, and that's kind of where he stayed at this point in time. So he is getting a little bit different feel for that car now that it's back in traffic.
Yeah, and good for him to be able to get back down. He was fast enough to win the pole. He led the first 4 laps or whatever it was, that first run. So he's definitely fast enough to get up here and contend for this win. But it sure wasn't going to work for him the way it was going.
No, absolutely not. Looks like the number 6 car of Tyler Rice. He's having himself a pretty good night here. He's up to 8th position, 1 position up from where he started. Matt Clayton in that number 19 car up a couple spots from where he had started. So he is sitting in 9th. And rounding out in the top 10 right now is going to be Jason Lockridge in the number 48 car. And we do see a couple of these cars back here in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th and 10th that are kind of battling it out a little bit. Most of the cars right now are running nose to tail. Hot shot in the 426 sitting back in 11th position. We got Josh Thompson right now sitting back in 12th. The Jets out there on the track. And that number 17 car up 6 spots from where he had started. And a pretty cool looking machine out there. I tell you, Jamie, each and every week he shows up with a different paint scheme.
Yeah. He sure does. And we've had a change up here at the front with Justin Hendry taking over the 3rd spot. And once again, we saw William Griffith try to make a move on Jesse Nekula. It just doesn't work.
No, Justin Hendry really has moved himself up through the field quite well as he started back in the 13th position and now he's worked his way up to third. And that's no small feat here at Indianapolis. He's a lot of track here and a lot of ground to make up, but he has definitely cleared the 8 car of Andrew Kurtz, and we're going to see if he's going to be able to get up here and mix it up with our top 2 drivers.
Yeah, and he did that without a lot of opportunities to pass. Oh, well, Jesse Necula's coming to pit road. Oh, and he gets the wall.
He gets into the wall. Doesn't look like a whole lot of damage to the front left of that car right there. So he's going to be down for service. They're stopping just short of halfway here. So fuel strategy and pit strategy coming into play, as this race definitely has a green flag look to it. So these drivers are cutting this race in half, which is probably the best strategy at this point in time, especially with tires. Indianapolis will tend to eat up a little bit of tire here, so they will get the advantage of 4 fresh tires earlier than the rest of the field. And we're going to see how it's going to continue to play out here as we begin our cycle of green flag stops.
And we'll see if William Griffith doesn't bring that 12 car to pit road this time around, because he's not going to want to stay out there. But it doesn't look like it's coming. I don't know. Once
yeah, I'm not real sure about that decision either, is because once those leaders come down pit road, you now continue to lose a lot of time on track to those leaders. And again, this race has a green flag look to it. And so right now, both of those cars, both him and Justin Hendry, are losing time to those fresh tires that Jesse Necula and those guys came down and got. And we're seeing those cars pull off pit road as we speak right now. So they'll get back up to speed here on the access road, which is kind of unique here in Indianapolis. You do have to take that access road all the way around until you exit turn 2 onto the backstretch.
Yeah, I get that Jesse caught you by surprise and pitted what really was a lap early of getting halfway. But I mean, now this is the second lap that William Griffiths continues to run, and Jesse Necula is going to be on those 4 fresh tires, along with Andrew Kurtz.
Justin Hendry pulls down to the inside of the number 12 car of William Griffith. The challenge for the lead. Oh. Just don't know that this is the right strategy right now, Jamie.
No.
I think,
did Brandon Wallace pit as well?
He did. So Brandon Wallace has been on and off the pit lane at this point in time. I got to imagine that Jeffrey the Giraffe is like, bring this car down pit road, and Jeffrey has spoken. Oh, and William Griffith gets on very hot on the pit road.
Yeah,
hits the outside wall.
He has hurt that car. That is some big damage there, that right front.
So he's going to have to use the fast repair, and then we're going to have to see if he actually got caught for an unsafe entry or speeding as he came on the pit road very, very fast. We'll keep an eye here and see if he gets held in the pits. And I got a feeling he had to have gotten caught speeding on pit road.
Yeah, if he's still sitting there, he definitely got caught speeding.
He is still sitting there. The jack has dropped, and Justin Hendry is gone. So William Griffith, a tough break there as he gets caught speeding on pit road, and he is serving the 40, I believe it's a 40-second hold here on pit road. So, but we'll head back out front here as Charles Stevens Jr. is now taking control of this race. Has yet to make his green flag stop, and there are 6 cars, 4 cars now that are still on track as Jason Lotridge and Charlie Gates have now hit pit road. When this thing all cycles out here, it looks like Justin Hendry is going to take control of the race.
Good for him. What has happened to Jesse Necula? Yes, must be a lot of cars that still haven't pit, because Still showing Jesse Necchio and Andrew Kurtz a lap down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jesse also got held on pit road for some time there, because it did seem like he was on pit road for quite a long time. As his pit stop was almost a minute long, so I believe he must have got caught for speeding as well. And so that is what's dropped him well back into the pack.
Yeah, both him and Andrew Kurtz are showing a lap down. Brandon Wallace is making his way back up through the field as he's climbed back up to 9th.
So we'll continue to watch here a little bit as Dave Jones is now the new leader of the race. We saw you got involved in an earlier accident, so his tires and his fuel tanks are a little bit fuller, and those were a little bit newer, so he could probably stay out for an extra couple laps here. Definitely pick up the bonus point for leading some laps here tonight, but he will have to bring that number 10 machine down pit road sometime here in the near future.
He's probably really content to be out there by himself right now. Seems like, you know, he gets more than his share of incidents with other drivers, so he probably figures that as long as he's got this open space around him, we got an accident. Gene Watkinson just had contact. Someone got into the back of him. I couldn't tell which car it was.
Oh, and he is down on the inside right now, Wall. That car is tore up a lot, and we will try to do a race rewind here and see exactly what happened as he was turned around backwards here. And slow this down as we go into turn 1 here. And we'll see that Charles Pegleg Phelps is right behind him, and Gene Watkinson is who we're focused on right now in that 111 car. As he gets down into the corner here, still everything looking really good. Charles Phelps has really got that car yawed out a little bit here. But it's like, what, you know what's coming. I'm just waiting to see exactly what happened here, as we're going to see Spencer Gay come off a pit road. Chuck Pegleg Phelps is to the outside of the 111 car. It looks like the 111 car moves up the track, does not realize that Pegleg is there, comes across his nose, and nothing that Charles can do, turns that car all the way around out into the outside wall there, and then will eventually come to rest on the inside wall. So tough break there, but I just don't think he knew that the 75 car was to his outside and then comes across his nose and turns himself around there.
Yeah, tough break.
But as we head back up front, Dave Jones is our leader here. As his timing and scoring continues to catch up here a little bit, we'll have to see exactly how many cars are left on the lead lap. As we were going through a cycle of green flag stops here, and Dave Jones will definitely bring that number 10 machine down pit road to get service, as he had been out there for quite some time. And we'll have to see if what some of the other leaders do, as they've been out there for a few laps. Haven't seen a whole lot of drop off in lap times, but tires do make a difference here at Indianapolis.
Oh, yes, they do. Brandon Wallace has gotten himself, well, I guess maybe he's brought his car down pit road too. He's coming to get tires. He was sitting 4th.
With 14 laps to go, and as many laps as these guys have been out there under green flag conditions, not surprising to see some of these guys come down and grab a set of tires here. So we'll have to see where they cycle out once timing and scoring and everything catches up and all the pit stops are completed. And then really what we're going to have to watch here is how these new tires are going to work up against some of the older tires that stayed out. This will turn the race over to the number 85 car of Justin Hendry, who right now is one of the biggest movers of the race. He's up 12 spots from where he had started. He started all the way back in 13th position and now finds himself as the leader of this race.
Yeah, I'm showing is Jesse Nebula taking a wave around? Because showing him right behind the pace car, but he's back in 17th position right now.
I'd imagine he stayed out to take that wave around. We do see that Mickey Isaac was able to get back into the race. And I'm showing him back in 16th position right now, Jamie.
Yeah. Appears he's on the lead lap. Good for him. That's always a struggle when you got connection issues. It's not something you can help.
Right.
But right now, it seems like Mickey Isaac's kind of survived that, and now he can start making moves to get himself up towards the front.
Well, that pay window's getting ready to open up, so we know exactly where Mickey Isaac's going.
Absolutely.
But a lot of great racing here this evening. The Magic Manzo's ARCA series brought to you by Flexible Freight Solutions. This is the Shappy Edits 100 from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A lot of green flag racing here this evening. As we talked about pre-race, this is a big 2.5-mile track with a lot of space to race. And once these cars get spaced out a little bit, we've really seen some great racing. And we'll continue to see that as we wind down the laps here tonight. We've seen a couple different leaders. Brandon Wallace was one of our early leaders of the race as he took the pole here this evening. Fell back on a restart there, all the way back to 7th position. Just recently came down pit road, grabbed a new set of tires here, so he is going to restart well back at the pack here. So we're going to see how we'll be able to move up through the field here. But now we have Justin Hendry in that number 85 car. Has control over this race. Jason Lotteridge to his outside. The number 19 of Matt Kleeman in 3rd position. Tyler Rice in the 6th car. Back and forth. And rounding out our top 5 for this restart is going to be Charles Stevens Jr. in that number 88 machine.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the job everybody's done. Not surprising. Had such good racing here tonight. We were hoping we were going to see it. We expected to see it, and these guys are delivering.
You know, Jamie, I'm kind of with you. That pace car must have like the 4-wheel steering because it just hooks left.
Yeah, it's got plenty of room there off of turn 4. Make a nice little gradual exit there to pit road.
Nope. That's
being a little extra.
But Justin Hendry gets a great start here. Clears everybody by at least 5 or 6 car lengths. And now we see Matt Kleeman in that number 19 car up to 2nd position. So we're seeing our top 3 cars here. A bunch of different drivers up here at the top of the right now. Tyler Rice now has made his way up into 3rd position, but the battle is on back there as Jason Lotteridge. And it looks like Tyler Rice machine got really loose down on the inside, was able to catch it now. But Jason Lotteridge is going to move by him, and so is Charles Stevens Jr.
Yeah, Matt Clayman's worked his way up to 2nd place here, and I don't think we've mentioned his name since the starting lineup.
I don't think we have either.
Great run for him in that 19 car.
Now we're seeing Jed Oswald getting up here into the top 5. He is up 14 spots from his starting position. He is in 5th position as we speak right now, as him and the 6th car of Tyler Rice are battling it out for that. And now Charles Stevens Jr. is falling back into this battle as well.
I tell you, it kind of looks like a hornet's nest about midway through this field. A lot of side-by-side racing, guys jockeying for position.
And I tell you, we're seeing some cars really, as they're trying to make up some of these positions, take some pretty shallow entries into these corners. And again, here at Indianapolis, that is not going to work out for you whatsoever. Well, we will head back up front here and check in on our leader, the 85 of Justin Hendry, as he has stepped out to about a 3/10 of a second lead. But Matt Kleeman is not going away.
No, he's not. But let's see if these two will work together and continue to pull away from Jason Lotridge in the 48, or are they going to start fighting for that lead and bring everybody right back up into it?
Well, Jamie, I would tell you it doesn't look like they're going to work together too much here, as we saw going down the back stretch. Justin Hendry moves down to the inside, can do a little bit of that draft breakup. But we are coming up to 9 laps left to go here in the Chappie Edits 100, brought to you by Magic Manzo's ARCA series and Flexible Freight Solutions. So under 10 laps left to go here. Matt Cleveland continues to make up ground.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. I think this is going to be get pretty exciting here coming down to this finish with 8 laps left to go. Eight laps here in Indianapolis. Still a lot of racing left, though.
It is. It's a lot of racing to go, and that is still 32 corners you have to get through. I did the math right on that one. 8 times 4. All right. Public math. Public math. Again, we see the 3-car Josh Thompson lead. Takes a very aggressive move going down the front stretch. Very shallow entry going in one, makes it work as he continues to try to work his way up to the field. The laps continue to wind down, and we'll check back in on our front runners right now as Matt Cleveland has lost a little bit of ground to our leader now.
Yeah, I tell you the one thing I'm a little surprised about, those cars that stopped and took tires, it's really not a factor at all. They have not been able to do anything to get up here and challenge Justin Hendry to take over this lead.
And there's few cars that actually were able to come down and take tires. I believe they were so well back into the field that that was going to be a tough mountain to climb. But it is interesting seeing how little tires have mattered. You would figure these cars would at least be up into the top 5 by now, but they're still mired back in 10th, 11th, and 12th position.
Yeah, I expected to at least see some movement, and there's just none. Clean air up front apparently is worth more than those tires.
As we're now seeing Jason Lotridge start to close in on our top 2 drivers here. So as the laps continue to wind down here, we're coming down the front stretch here. We're going to have 6 laps left to go here in Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and a lot like plate racing, Indy here is it all comes down to timing. When you're going to make that move to try to get to the lead, you don't want to do it too soon. You don't want to give somebody time to do the same thing to you. So we'll see if Matt Cleveland and Jason Lotridge are just sizing Justin Hendry up right now.
I'll tell you, Jamie, what I wouldn't give to be in one of these ARCA cars right now. Love racing at this track. Kind of like a lot like you would, Five Flags. I mean, you get very excited about Five Flags, and I get real excited about coming here. But Matt Cleveland now makes a move down to the inside of Justin Hendry going into turn 1. So he sets his move coming down that front stretch, is able to clear the 85 car, and we're going to have to see if he's going to be able to set sail, or if that draft's going to come into play a little bit. These cars will be able to close right back up on him.
Yeah, Matt Cleveland definitely, that was a power move right there. He didn't waste any time clearing Justin Hendry, but Justin's staying right with him, and like I said, it might have been a little too early for Matt Cleveland to make that move. He's going to give Justin Hendry a lot of opportunities to return that favor.
It really it is tough to get away from somebody here in Indianapolis because a lot like what you said, Jamie, uh, kind of like plate racing a little bit because the draft does play so much into it because the straightaways are so long. Um, so you really got to time when you're going to make that pass. Ooh, as Justin, as Matt Kleeman gets a little high coming through 1 and 2, and now Justin Hendry is going to get underneath him. The two cars touch. Coming
They
out
do
of
make
2,
contact.
Kleeman's into the outside wall, and now Jason Lotridge is able to move by him. And we have yet another lead change up front.
Justin Hendry's back to the point. And now Matt Clemens going to lose another spot to Charles Stevens in that 88 car.
As we'll take a look at Matt Kleeman here and see how much damage he actually got to the right side of the car there. And if he's going to be able to rebound, at least get that car back into a podium position.
He has settled down into 4th spot right now. And it looks like he's able to maintain that, so we'll have to see. Whatever damage he's done to it, you know, might be being covered up right now by the fact he's right behind Charles Stevens. But if he was to try to step out and make that pass, it could be like a parachute.
Right now, Justin Hendry has control over this field as he is put quite the gap on Jason Lotridge in the number 48 car. And we are coming up on 2 laps left to go. So if Jason Lotridge has anything left in the tank, he is going to have to start using it up now.
Yeah, he's running out of time. 6/10 here at this track, even though, you know, with 2 laps, that's a lot to make up, and he continues to lose time. So as long as Justin Hendry keeps this thing under control here for another lap and a half, he's going to win this Chapiette. It's 100.
Yeah, as we go back and take a look, now the fight for 3rd is on. Matt Kleeman is trying to challenge Charles Stevens Jr. for that 3rd place finish right now. And Aaron Adcock in the number 23 has also moved himself up into the picture here. So the fight is going to be on for 3rd position. 1 and 2 right now have really separated themselves. Not a lot going on there, so we'll watch this 3rd place battle here to see who's going to be able to finish on the podium here tonight. Is now Aaron Adcock moves underneath the 19 car. Charles Stevens Jr. gets himself a little bit of breathing room here as we are on our final lap here tonight.
White flag is out.
Aaron Adcock moves himself into 4th position. Charles Stevens Jr. now into 3rd as they come down the back straightaway. But I got a little too excited there as they come into corner number 2. Charles Stevens Jr. doesn't get the greatest run through that corner. Aaron Adcock's going to have a run coming down the backstretch. Charles Stevens Jr. Looks like he tries to get to the outside. Aaron Adcock tries to take the inside. Charles Stevens Jr. puts the block on him, puts that car down low, and Aaron Adcock is going to try to get that car wound up on the outside and see if he can do anything with him whatsoever. Again, Charles Stevens Jr. puts a little bit of a block on there. Aaron Adcock tries to gas that car up. It is going to be a drag race down to the finish as Charles Stevens Jr. puts the block one more time on him. And Charles Stevens Jr. is going to bring home 3rd position. I know, I got so excited over 3rd. Sorry, that was the greatest race that was going on the track there. But Justin Hendry in the number 85 car brings home the win here tonight. Jason Lotridge in 2nd position. And our buddy, Charles Stevens Jr., I got excited. Sorry, Jamie. Brings it home in 3rd place.
I was excited too. I mean, both of those guys did a really good job, really giving it everything they had without wrecking each other. So, you know, hats off to them, both Charles and Aaron Adcock. That was a good finish right there. But we got to really congratulate Justin Hendry. He's our winner here tonight. Started 13th, came up through that field, and he's going to win the Chapiette. It's 100.
Yes. Congratulations to him. Ran a fantastic race. Was really one of the fastest cars out here all night long. And I will tell you, not only was he one of the fastest, he ran the best lap of the night here tonight with a lap time of 54.03. So definitely class of the field, and he will bring home the win here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Shappy Edits 100 in the Magic Manzo's ARCA Series, brought to you by Flexible Freight Solutions. Well, come on, Justin. Start burning those tires off.
I'm not sure we'll be talking to Jason Lottridge because I do believe he is dead. That car just got obliterated. He was thrown in the air, landed on top, upside down on top of pit road wall.
There we go. Light them up. You're on that yard of bricks, man. Get out there and tear them up. And I will tell you, Jamie, I've had the privilege of actually driving across those yard of bricks, and it is a damn cool experience.
Oh, I bet it is. I have stood at the start-finish line of Daytona, so it's pretty cool when you get those opportunities to do that.
Yeah, there are some meccas of racing, and Daytona being one of those. Indianapolis. I think we need to set our plans to go to Darlington and to a Southern 500.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there. Good place to watch a race. Trying to remember when that was. Probably 2001 time frame, I guess, somewhere around there.
All right,
well, yeah, it was 2001. It was because it was the spring race at Darlington. We got tickets for Rockingham and Darlington that year. It was a special Pepsi 6-pack thing they were doing, so you got tickets to both races, come out to like $20 a piece or something like that. We went down there to Rockingham week after Earnhardt had died. You know, saw 7 green flags of racing before the rain came. And we didn't. If you've ever been around Rockingham, Rockingham is in the middle of nowhere. So we had no preparation to stick around for the next day. So we had to come on home. So when we went to Darlington, we camped at Darlington, so that way if anything happened, we'd still be able to, we'd have some place to stay, to watch the race the next day. So lesson learned on that. But Darlington was a good time.
And I am looking for Justin Hendry. And I am not finding him. I have Charles Stevens Jr. and Jason Lottridge up in the waiting room waiting to talk to us. I see Justin Hendry continues to do burnouts, and I mean, by all means, continue to do them. But Justin, work your way over to Discord at some point in time here, and so we can get an interview with you. Because I don't see him anywhere, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm looking. I am not seeing him as well.
So we'll go ahead and grab our second place finisher, Jason Lottridge, at this point in time and have a talk with him. Hey, Jason, it's Pat and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
Well, man, great race here this evening. Saw you work your way up through the field there a little bit. I mean, up 6 positions from where you had started. Thought you might have something there at the end for Justin Hendry. Wasn't quite able to make the move to get up there and win this race. So kind of take us through your race here this evening and how you brought that number 48 car home in second position.
Well, I wasn't going to qualify, but I have had some bad luck the last couple weeks, and so I decided to just, give it a full effort and qualify the top 10 and just did it nice, smooth, and steady. I didn't want to try to make any crazy passes on the inside because sometimes, especially mid runs, you'll wash up. Didn't want to take anybody out. Didn't want to cause any problems. And I just played the fuel strategy. I went as far as I could and got lucky. I didn't speed in pit road. I think a couple guys got caught penalty-wise. And, I just got lucky.
Jason, man, congratulations on that second place finish. I don't call it luck. That's skill right there. We did see some people have issues on pit road, mainly getting onto pit road. They were getting one wall or the other. So, good job by you to get that thing in there cleanly. Did you Did you have anything for Justin if this went a little bit longer?
I'm not really sure. Justin was smooth all night. I know him and Matt Clemine got into it, and I think it was turn 2 a little bit, and Matt got into the wall, and Justin, I think, had a little bit of damage, and I was trying to catch him, but I messed up about a lap after their little incident. I messed up going into 3, and it kind of slowed my momentum, and I just wanted a second place. I needed a top finish, so I really wasn't pushing too hard at the very, very end there.
Yeah, man. That's how you win championships right there. Get all those points you can without causing problems for yourself. So, again, congratulations on a strong run tonight. Anybody you'd like to thank? Shout out, sponsors?
Well, first off, I'd just like to thank our sponsors, Flexible Freight Solutions and Davy Jones, Magic Mike Motorsports, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Shappy Edits, and Seth Griffith as well. So those are our main sponsors. I'd like to thank them, and just loving this league, loving Friday Night ARCA, and I'm hoping to come up a little bit in the points this week and hopefully keep it up throughout the season.
Well, man, congratulations on a solid podium finish here this evening and a great race. Get out there and celebrate, man, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good job tonight, too, by the way. Broadcast is always great.
Awesome, man. We appreciate it. All righty. Well, let's. Have we ever interviewed Charles Stevens Jr.?
I think we have.
Okay.
I think we have.
Well, let's.
Maybe we've just talked to him. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's drag him up here and have some fun with him.
All right.
Hey, Charles. It's Pat and Jamie up at the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Well, I'll be. Hey, first, me and Jamie were talking before we brought you up into the broadcast booth. Have we ever had the chance to interview you on air?
I don't think so. Not in the ARCA series, anyway.
Well, then, congratulations for coming up to the Cool Kids area. We're glad to have you, man. But I mean, really, congratulations on a strong run here tonight in the ARCA series.
Thank you.
That 88 car really looked strong all night long, and then played some strategy right there. Really were able to make some great moves and bring home a podium finish. So, take me through your race tonight and how you brought it home in third place.
Just started second. Struggled a little bit in the beginning of the run. Just trying to find my line, and I mean, I have to say, man, that last 2 laps was probably the toughest I've ever raced anyone for a podium. I'm still out of breath, to be honest with you. Trying to take Aaron's line away there at the end, because he was definitely faster than me and was catching me. But like I said, within the last 2 laps, I could not give him that bottom line because that was the preferred line here. So took that line away from him, and like I said, barely held on to it.
Yeah, Charles, man, we saw you making that car about four lanes wide there, which, I mean, hey, you do what you got to do on the closing laps to hold your position.
Yep.
Hats off to both you and Aaron for racing hard like that, but keeping it clean. I didn't see any contact. Were you guys? Was there any close calls there on those closing laps?
No. Like I said, we gave each other plenty of room. We definitely raced each other clean, but he gave me a little bumper here and there. But like I said, I basically held my line on that bottom, and I just backed up my corners a little bit so I made sure I held it on the bottom. And yeah, like I said, we touched a little bit, but it was all fun, clean racing, man. Can't pass nothing up with it.
You're right, man. And good job by all of you guys in this field tonight. This is a really good race. So, anybody you want to thank? Shout out, sponsors?
Yeah, I haven't been at podium in a while, but let's do this. Our main sponsor, Flexible Freight Solutions, Magic Mike Motorsports, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Snappy Edits, Smeo Racing Designs, and then everyone on my team, Big Fish Motorsports, between Logan, Spencer, Chris, and my wife and son for allowing me to race.
Well, man, I mean, congratulations on that third place finish. It's always a lot of fun to be able to talk with you. Glad we got a chance to talk to you tonight, and I guarantee you we'll be talking to you a lot more here as the ARCA series continues on.
I hope so, man. Thanks.
All right, take care, my friend.
You too, man. Thank you.
I don't know. I like that kid a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I
it-
do. He's a good guy, and he
yeah,
supports the stream, so that makes him a doubly good guy.
that's right. And you support us, we support you, type deal.
That's
That
right.
thing's. And I have not seen Justin Hendry anywhere, so apparently he's going to take his trophy and go home.
Well, yeah. I wish we could grab Cody and have him come up here. I mean, they're both from Mobile, so we could get Cody to give his interview, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Don't know where Justin Hendry's at. I mean, congratulations on the win, man. Maybe you need to win a little more so you know what the procedures are. You're supposed to go to the waiting room. Okay. That's how it works. You go to the waiting room and we talk to you and tell you how great you were and what a great job you did and all that stuff, and you get to tell us all about it, and we all
Yeah.
have a good time. But since he's not here, I guess we'll thank our sponsors. We'd like to thank Gill Insurance Advisors, Jam Printing and Promotions, Tracks for Vets, G2G Trailers, and Travis Lee Creative. We put on a winning broadcast tonight, and we thank all them for helping us make that happen.
That's what I'm talking about. And Justin Hendry, I'm going to be the first one to break the bad news to you. Is part of your contractual agreement with the ARCA series is media, and you do have to talk to the media after each and every race, and if you don't, you're subject to suspension and/or fines. So I'll leave that up to Magic Mike and Phil the Hitman Manzo to address those issues. But we expect to see a pretty good donation to Gut Locker Racing as part of his fine for not showing up for his media appearance.
Absolutely. I mean, he can come up here and Kyle Busch us if that's what he wants to do, but
That's right.
I mean, he needs to at least show up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a part of the agreement, so he's in breach of contract at this point in time. And Magic Mike, I would expect some heavy fines to follow for that. But no, a lot of fun here this evening. Again, I mean, I got excited. It's Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I was born and raised here, lived 20 minutes from the track. Again, near and dear to my heart. But a lot of great racing here this evening, a lot of green flag racing. And again, congratulations to Justin Hendry and that number 85 car for bringing home the win, and Jason Lotridge and the number 48, and Charles Stevens Jr. for rounding out our podium here this evening, and a lot of great runs throughout the field.
Absolutely.
Matt Kleeman brings that number 19 car home in 5th position. Josh Jet Oswald here, in 7th position. Mickey Isaac had all those connection issues in the beginning. We didn't even know if he was going to make the race, not make the race, be laps down, and lo and behold, he finishes in the top 10, Jamie.
Yeah, great run for Mickey Isaac, great recovery. Like to have seen what he could have done had he not had those issues. We probably would have been talking to him, and
Yeah.
I bet you he would have showed up.
Oh, Justin, we're going to continue to take shots at you. If you win the race and you duck the media, man, I mean that's just that's in poor taste.
Yeah.
But,
Even Cody gets on there and does it. He hates it.
Oh, he does.
But he does it.
He absolutely does hate it. But we definitely had some comers and goers throughout the field here. Jesse Necula falls all the way back to 14th position as he was up leading the race there for a little while and really battling it out in the top 3 and top 5. So tough break for him. Brandon Wallace really is going to be the heartbreaker here of this evening. Wins the pole, led that first set of, 10, 12 laps there. Had that caution came out, and that restart was just the end of the night for him as he fell back to 7th and then obviously continued to fall back to the field all the way back to 17th position. And then William Griffith, as we saw there a little bit, had some of his issues and falls back to 19th position. But a lot of great runs here through this evening. Another great race here in the Magic Manzo's ARCA Series. And big shout out to the series sponsor, Flexible. Gosh darn it, I got through it all night long, Jamie. I try to finish this thing out and I jack it up. Gosh. Flexible Freight Solutions and Davy Jones for coming on board and helping this ARCA Series really be what it is to this day. And Magic Mike and Phil the Hitman Manzo for putting this series on and doing all that they do. We've already gone through and thanked all our sponsors. But be sure, we want to give a big shout out to everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network and comes out and supports us each and every week, multiple days throughout the week, and they interact with us and they have a lot of fun with it, and we have an absolute blast with it. So it was a great night of racing for us here at Goat Locker Racing. We wrapped up the final race of round number 2 in the playoffs at Richmond International Speedway earlier tonight with me bringing home the win and Jamie finishing in third. So both of us will be in the championship 4 next Friday night, battling to bring that Xfinity Championship home for the second year in a row to Goat Locker Racing. So excited for that, but we will be off tomorrow night, as we typically are on Saturday nights, but Sunday we'll be back behind the wheel of those Rebel trucks. So be sure to come out and support us in all that we do so we can continue to give back to the racing community and the veteran community that we so much love. So thanks to everybody that tunes in, and we will take a look at the ARCA schedule to see where we're going to be at next week. And we have just finished up this week at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Next week, we will be at Kentucky Motor Speedway, so that should be a really fun race. I always enjoy races at Kentucky. And then we're off to one of my favorite tracks, Iowa, on August 27th. And then on September 10th, after taking off the Labor Day weekend, we'll come back from Labor Day on September 10th to race at Texas Motor Speedway. So a lot of great races coming up here over the next couple of weeks. But continue to come out and support us here at Goat Locker Racing. We truly appreciate it. Everybody have a great night and a great weekend, and we will see you on Sunday.